Hello friends, it is Friday, October 17th, and I want to welcome you to my mid-October garden tour. This might be the last one for 2025. It's astonishing to me how quickly things have changed just over the last couple of weeks and certainly the last month, but everything is still overall looking very beautiful. I'm in North Georgia, Zone 8A, formerly 7B, and it's interesting, again, like I said, just to see, the changes that have happened just in the last couple of weeks. We do have some temperatures in the 40s coming next week, which obviously is not freezing, but I'll be interested to see how it affects my annuals, especially my coleus, because this is the first year I've grown coleus. I'm going to try not to be too chatty. I know I say that every time, but just try to give you the highlights. So the salvias are still, I think, overall looking super strong, as you can see. I just love that color. I do think my hummingbirds are gone. My last confirmed sighting was a couple of days ago. I thought I got a glimpse of one late Wednesday, but Tuesday, I believe, was my last confirmed sighting. And I've been down to one for a couple of days. I had 3 all summer. I was down to 2 for the last couple of weeks. And I'm pretty sure those are gone. I do keep my feeders full because I have seen stragglers, migraine stragglers, as late as October 19th, but I've looked back through my notebook and my dates and my calendar, and October 19th, I believe, is my latest confirmed sighting here, so we shall see what happens. The sweet potato vine is still looking good, coleus. I think if I had more full sun, my butterfly bushes would still be blooming, but again, this garden here used to be in full sun all summer, and even August and September, there was still a good bit of sun, but just in the last couple of weeks, this is front part's barely getting any sun. So, but overall, I feel like this has been my best gardening year yet. I have already been working on my garden plans for next year. I've actually been doing that for some time, since July, but really now trying to kind of narrow down and pinpoint my exact game plan for next year, which is exciting. But I'm just trying right now really to relish every moment of this existing garden. It has been amazing, and I will be sad to see this season come to an end. But overall, very successful. A lot of hits, definitely some misses, but I have learned a lot about gardening this year. Doesn't matter how long you've been doing it, you learn something every year. And about myself as a gardener. So, you can see there's lots of really nice colors still. These were all planted a year ago, except for the coleus, and they've really, really come in. This Roman red salvia, queen nectarine. This is all coleus, dragon's breath celosia that's self-seeded from last year. I did nothing. Literally, I did nothing. It's amazing. So I'm hoping to have more. And that is one of my goals next year, to have more. And maybe I'll do a video before the end of the year and kind of talk more about my garden wishes and dreams for 2026. My rockin' fuchsia has kind of petered out a little bit more over here. But again, we still have some fuchsia. Royal raspberry hummingbird mint. If you can get your hands on it, I highly recommend. I think my biggest disappointment this year in the garden has been sedums. It's just not been a good fit for my garden. So I think I will be taking those out and going a different direction next year. Again, just try to give you a glimpse. Loropetalums, banana peel Elysium. Again, my unknown sport of queen nectarine, but it's gorgeous. Let's come into the middle here. Again, Mexican sage has been really the star of the show. And I never got any videos, but, sorry, didn't mean to do that quickly. But this for sure became a hummingbird favorite over the last couple of weeks. So I'm so happy that I finally got everything timed correctly this year with my plantings. Again, it's just so pretty. I did read somebody said that they were able to overwinter it by cutting it back before the first hard freeze and covering it with landscape fabric, which I think I would do burlap. I would think something heavier might actually kill it. So I'm going to try that. If not, I do have a nursery in Texas I get it from. I will say I have gone back and forth about this Vermilion Aircuphia. I personally do not care for it, but I have seen the hummingbirds in it through the year, and even in the last couple of weeks, and I think I will grow some next year just for the hummingbirds. I don't particularly like the way it looks, but they like it, and that's one of my goals, is to be pollinator friendly. So, here we are. This looked gorgeous, earlier. This was one I ended up planting, moved some stuff out, moved it to the other side of the garden, and then replanted, and it was gorgeous most of the summer. It's kind of, again, petering out. I will say the blue boa has been very persistent, and my Gina phlox has just now kind of petered out. This Helios, I think this is giant Helios, I forget. I got a lot of these on clearance late summer from Bluestone Perennials, so I was just trying some new things. Very pretty when it bloomed, but if you get a heavy rain, it will do a number on it. So, and the bloom period is relatively short, so I don't know that that's going to be a keeper. And I like having some splashes of yellow, but I definitely like the fuchsia, pinks, lavenders, purples. So I'm going to really kind of focus on making that my consistent color palette, although I don't mind a few splashes of yellow. This was my coleus that got taken down by a storm, actually both varieties. And you can see it's certainly not as tall as it was earlier in the summer, but this is a pretty impressive recovery for late summer and early fall. So I'm kind of torn. I mean, this doesn't really draw pollinators, but I do love this deep color here. So I think maybe my compromise will be to do half coleus, and then do some hummingbird mint here. I'm going to actually move all of this penstemon and Hiroshia. I think I'm saying that correctly. Rosy Posy and some Queen Nectarine blooming late here. Dark purple, Rockin' Fuchsia. Again, we pulled out the Suncredibles. I like them, but they really struggled the second half, so I don't think I'm going to do them again next year. If I do, I'll do them in like one little bunch in a container. This is going to be pinks and purples for sure. I am not, though, going to do the Rockin' Purple Salvia here again. So anyway, maybe when I do my 2026 planting garden, I'll say more about that. And it just kind of sad to see everything thinning out, but, and again, my butterfly bushes, they're just not getting enough sun now to bloom. There's a lot of buds actually, but this is where we are at. All right, well, let's keep going. Fat Albert hanging in there. This is more Dragon's Breast Celosia. This was awesome. I got this at Pike's Nursery. It was a special RE on sale for $13, and when I got to check out, I discovered I had a $25 store reward. So I got it for free, and if I had not been in a hurry to go somewhere else, they had one other pot, I would have gotten the other one. But I was already at the checkout and needed to get going because I had lingered way too long in Pike's, swooning over everything. So again, we're going to pot this up tomorrow, and I think we're just gonna let it go because I planted Celosia late last year too, and that's what reseeded on its own. So I want to have a swath of it somewhere over here. Again, I want to kind of stay true to things that I like, but at the same time, I'm going to be a little bit more intentional about having little swaths of color, like Bruce Duncan's garden, if you watch S&K Nursery Greenhouse videos. So some things may get moved or rearranged a little bit, and then, new plantings, keeping that in mind. Again, I think to be this late in the year, it doesn't look bad, but things are definitely petering out now. I really love this salvia, and I go back and forth. I think I've said in other videos, I would definitely plant this again, and I would, but, because the hummingbirds did like it, but the only drawback to this salvia, the blooms do not last long. So I might go with another salvia that I know the hummingbirds like that I think would do well in this spot. So we'll think about that. And still have a little purple cascade or lilac cascade blooming here. I am going to, I think, probably take out this sedum and just clean out the wheelbarrow planter and start fresh. Again, this area in particular, I treat all of my garden as hummingbird central and butterfly central, but I've really paid attention to what the hummingbirds and butterflies like this year, more so than I have in years past. So I will be planting this probably with some type of low-growing salvia, just because I want to have even more things next year that all of the pollinators will like. I love this purple. I just wish, I don't feel like this is as robust as the Rockin' Fuchsia or Blue Suede Rock Shoes or whatever it's called. I am going to try some of the other Rockin' series next year, as well as the Unplugged Salvia. Sorry, I'm going to get a good shot of that. I mean, look at that, y'all. It's just so nice. We still have some of this. I've been calling this Anna's Fuchsia all summer. That's not what it's called. I actually was making my list for next year, and I apologize, but Select Seeds carries it. You can just look up under Fuchsia, and you'll see it. And I think it's pretty amazing. There's still quite a few blooms on it. I will say I was surprised to not really see any pollinators on that. So, I don't know. This was a surprise, more of the Rockin' Blue Suede Shoes, or whatever it's called, the Rockin' Blue Salvia. I planted this almost like as an afterthought, not really expecting that it would thrive here. I mainly put it here because I was out of space and I'd ordered it. But now that I know that this will grow well here, I think I will definitely do it again. The hummingbirds love this. All right. Coleus is still rocking out. Love this moon dust coleus. My mums are reblooming from last year. They've already bloomed once this year. The dragon's wing begonias. I'm definitely going to be doing more begonias. This little Japanese maple is much happier here. The Crimson Queen. I had to kind of wedge some pots with this one. I should never have planted this coleus in a tall urn like this. It just gets top heavy, and even though I've kept it watered, it's been blowing over. So I lost a bunch of the fuchsia and coleus that's also planted in with it. Lava Rose, I think it's called. Unfortunately, so I will do definitely red-headed coleus. That's been my best one for sure. But again, you can kind of see what's going on here. The poor hydrangeas are, on the end. All right, well, let's go look at this part of the garden very quickly. I'm going to really try to keep this in one video, under 20 minutes. This has been a workhorse. I mean, my goodness. And for whatever reason, I mean, this coleus does get leggy, but this isn't a really low planter, so it doesn't seem, it's more mounding looking. And it's also been kind of a nice landing spot for the Mexican sage here. This, again, Rockin' Blue Salvia has just gone wild. I did have another Sun Credible Saturn in it, and we ended up taking it out. And look how much, I'm sorry, it's a little bit bright, but this has filled in toward the back just in the last 2 weeks. And I've not fertilized since the beginning of September. I think if I had to do this over again, I think I would have fertilized one more time mid-September. I should have. And I kind of regret now that I didn't, but live and learn. Blue Fortune, definitely. This is a second flush. I think it's pretty impressive for this late. Some more of my Dragon's Breath that I got at Lowe's, I don't know, a month, 6 weeks ago. This is just a really, pretty little vista here. Pretty little moment, as people like to say in the decorating videos. I actually have some more autumn, I think that's autumn Rebecca, trying to reload. So we'll see if we get some more blooms. The goldfinches would like that for sure. Campfire Coleus, this is my second favorite one. Workhorse, gorgeous. I love how the color looks different times of day and on how the light hits it. It's definitely been getting a little bit more sun late in the day, so that's kind of bleached the color a little bit, but it's still very vibrant. This is a very close second to Red-Headed Coleus. I love this. I think I've told you the Honey Bells, Cufia. I've been kind of underwhelmed by it. Dipped in Wine Coleus, definitely will do that again. Another Red-Headed Coleus. I mean, look, y'all. We've got some empty pots again. We're going to be doing some different and cool things with these come spring. Very excited about that. Yeah, everything's just looking really nice for, I think, to be this late in the year. I'm going to cry when we get the first hard frost. This Rockin' Fuchsia, as well as that in the front, again, doing really well. My trees. My Vanderwolf pine has recovered. I thought I was going to lose it this summer, so yay for that. Oh, watch out, I'm walking into a spider web. We're still under siege by the Joro spiders, although not as bad. More of the Lava Rose Coleus. Oh my gosh, love this. The asters petered out kind of quick. They were beautiful while they lasted. Look at this Beelicious pink hummingbird mint, y'all. And there's going to be some changes here. This rose bush is staying. This one's not. This was an experiment. I was trying to figure out whether the Vermont wildflower or high country cosmos was a little bit more robust. Again, not bad for mid-October. Joe Pye weed's been done for a while. And then the mother of all red coleus right here, y'all. Look at that. Oh my gosh. And then again, my neighbor gifted me these dragonwing begonias. I'd never grown begonias, but I am definitely going to be doing these as well as a lot of the Surefire varieties next year. I mean, just look. Look at that. Love it. Red-Headed Coleus, cannot go wrong. So, obviously I do need to clean up my collection of pots and planters here. Next year for sure, we are going to redo all the pine straw. I feel like just garden chores kind of got away from us this year because I did plant probably 3 times as much as I've done in the past. And, time, money, and energy run out. So anyway, this kind of brings us back to where we started. Again, some more of the purple here looks nice. We've got some blue here. I think this is a Monte. The pink. Anyway, like I said, I might do one more video, but this probably will be the last one where everything looks this nice. So I hope that you've enjoyed this tour today as well as my other videos. Again, I might just do more of the screencast type video maybe before the year is out and talk a little bit about my plans for next year, what I would like to do. But overall, I have no complaints. It's been really a great, great gardening season, and I'm thankful still to have so much beautiful color. And it's actually cool enough now. Today's a little bit warmer. It's going to be 83, I think, but you can actually sit on the porch, my screened-in porch, and not roast to death and enjoy things. But anyway, again, just lots of good things still going on in the garden. Again, I've got a lot of ideas for what I want to do next year as far as plantings, and I also would like to incorporate a fountain over here. I saw a bunch at Pikes. You may have seen some of my shorts here on my channel. Saw a lot of ideas for fountains that I would like. There was one in particular I thought the hummingbirds would like. So anyhow, but I guess that brings us to the end of today's tour. Again, thank you for being on the journey. I hope that you are having a gentle end to your gardening season, and just sending peace and positive vibes to everyone wherever you may be. Everybody take care and stay safe, and we'll chat sometime soon. Take care.